Good morning, students. Welcome to Adarsh Vidyalaya Max online class. Today we continue the exercise 2.1. Exercise problems. First question. Find all positive integers when divided by 3. Leaves remainder 2. So in this exercise, use the Euclid's lemma. Example sums also done by that theorem, Euclid's lemma. What is Euclid's lemma? A and B are two positive integers. A and B are two positive integers. Then A is equal to B into Q plus R. A is equal to B into Q plus R. A is equal to BQ plus R. What is A? What is B? A is the dividend, then B is the divisor, Q is the quotient, R is the remainder. R is the remainder. It is the Euclid's lemma. For this question, solution: set of all integers which are divided by 3 leaves the remainder 2. So is the general form is 3n minus 1. The general form is 3n minus 1. So that is n belongs to natural number. N belongs to natural number. Why n belongs to natural number? So all positive integers only. All positive integers only. Then n belongs to natural number. N belongs to natural number. So we take here nth term is 3n minus 1. Then 3n minus 1 general form of all numbers divisible by 3 leaves the remainder 2. All numbers divisible by 3 leaves the remainder is 2. So we have to apply n is equal to 1. We get 3 into 1 minus 1. N is equal to 2. 3 into 2 minus 1. N is equal to 3. 3 into 3 minus 1. N is equal to 4. 3 into 4 minus 1, etc. is going infinite times. So next one, we have seen the 3 into 1, 3 minus 1, 2. 3, 6 minus 1, 5. 9 minus 1, 8. 12 minus 1, 11. We get that terms are positive integers 2, 5, 8, 11, etc. These terms are 11, next term 14. So these terms are divisible by 3, leaves the remainder 2. Leaves the remainder 2. So question number 2. A man have 532 flower pots. A man have 532 flower pots. He want to arrange them in rows. Flower pots, in rows such that each row means horizontally. Row means horizontally. Flower pots, row means horizontally. So each row, arrange them in row. Row means horizontally. This one is horizontal. This one flower pot. This one flower pot. This one flower pot. This one flower pot. Then each row contains 21 flowers. Each row contains 21 flowers. Flower pots. Then find the number of completed rows. Number of completed rows. And how many flower pots are left over. Divided. So in this question, by using the Euclid's lemma, then 532 is divided by 21. Then the quotient is the number of rows and the remainder is the leftover. Remainder is the leftover. In this question, so divide total number of flower pots is 532. Then one row contains 21 flower pots. So 532 divided by divisor is 21. Divisor is 21. So in this question, small correction. For this one is not 3. This one is divided by 21. Change your classwork. So 532 divided by 21. So 2 times 42. Then subtraction. 553 minus 42, 11. So 112. Then we get 112 5 times 21. 21 into 5, 105. So remainder is 7. So how many rows for in here? So using the division algorithm, 532 is equal to 21 into q plus r. Q is quotient is 25, r is the remainder. R remainder is 7. It is using the Euclid's lemma. So q number of rows, 25 rows. Remaining flower pots is remaining value, that is 7. So answer is number of rows arranging the flower pots is 24 flower pots. Then remaining flower pots is 7. Remaining flower pots is 7. So question number 3. Prove that the product of two consecutive positive integer is divisible by 2. Product of two consecutive positive integer is divisible by 2. What is consecutive? Consecutive means continuously. Consecutive means continuously. Continuous, we have to take two positive integers. Continuous means, consecutive means we have to take continuously two positive integers. So we take 2 and 3 and 5 and 6, 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 9 and 10. They are the same, etc. So take the consecutive positive integers n and n plus 1. N is the first number, n plus 1 the next number. Continuous after the n. So n is odd. We have to take n is odd. First number odd means second number is automatically even. So n plus 1 is even. So product odd into even, that is one of the property. Multiply for odd number into even number is equal to is always even. So next one, the commutative for first one, the commutative for first one, next one. Then first one is case 1, n is odd, n plus 1 is even. Second case, n is even, n plus 1 is odd. Suppose we take for these two terms. Then we get the product is n into n plus 1 is even. It is the property of even and odd numbers. Product of even and odd numbers. So both cases we get n into n plus 1 is even. Therefore even number is divisible by 2. Is always divisible by 2. Even number is always divisible by 2. So the product of two consecutive positive integer is divisible by 2. Hence the proof. So question number 4. When the positive integers a, b and c, positive integers a, b and c is divided by 13. When the positive integers, 3 integers a, b, c is divided by 13. The respective remainders are 9. A divided by 13, remainder is 9. B divided by 13, remainder is 7. Then C divided by 13, remainder is 10. Once again, repeat for this one. For A is divided by 13, then we get the remainder 9 given question. So B is divided by 13, we get the remainder is 7. Also C is divided by 13. C is divided by 13. We get the remainder is 10. Show that. So proof for this. A plus B plus C is divisible by 13. So that A plus B plus C, 3 numbers are adding. The total number is also divisible by 13. Total number is also divisible by 13. So solution for this one. When A is divisible by, A is the dividend, then 13 is the divisor. By using the Euclid's lemma, so A is equal to 13 Q1 plus Q1 means quotient for first one. Q1 plus 9. Second one, the same process. B is equal to 13 Q2 plus 7. Third one, C is equal to 13 Q3 plus 10. So adding 3 equations, 1 plus 2 plus 3. So A plus B plus C is equal to 13 Q1 plus 9 plus 13 Q2 plus 13 Q2 plus 7 plus 13q3 plus 10. 13q3 plus 10. Adding this a plus b plus c. So 13q1 common, 13q2 common, 13q3 common. Common take outside. 13 into q1 plus q2 plus q3. So remaining 9 plus 7 plus 10. So 16, 26. So these two terms 13 to q1 plus q2 plus q3 and 26. Take common 13. So we get the terms 13 into q1 plus q2 plus q3 plus 2 is common. 13 is common for q1 plus q2 plus q3 plus 2. So this term, full term multiply for 13 means divisible by 13 is also divisible by 13. So q1, q2, q3 are integers. q1 plus q2 plus q3 plus 2 is also integer. So one of the integer, add the 2 is one of the integer, add that also integer. So a plus b plus c is equal to 13k. We take for q1 plus q2 plus q3 plus 2 is equal to k. So a plus b plus is divisible by 13. Then the here given for this one 13 into 13k. 13k is divisible by 13. 13k is divisible by 13. So we have to, the full term is a plus b plus c is also divisible by 13. A plus b plus c is also 13. So a and b are two positive integers, one of the note. Then a is divisible by b if a is equal to qb, where q is an integer. Next we are going to sum number 5. So prove that the square of any integer leaves the remainder either 0 or 1 when divided by 4. Already we seen for the same problem in example. So is a square of an odd integer. Here we take x be integer. The square of x is x square. So x be a even integer, that is equal to 2q. Even means multiple by 2. Then we take 2q. Yeah, even integers means we take 2q. Then x is equal to 2q. X square is equal to 4q square. So x square is divided by 4. So the remainder what? 0. Exactly divided by 4q square. Then case 2, x be an odd integer. Let x be an odd integer. So x is equal to 2q plus 1. We take x is equal to 2q plus 1. So for some integer we take q. Q means quotient. So then x square, the square of this x, both squaring on both sides. So x square is equal to 2q plus 1 the whole square. So 2q plus 1 the whole square, we apply the formula a plus b the whole square. What is a plus b the whole square? A square plus 2ab plus b square. A square plus 2ab plus b square. A plus 2ab plus b square. A square plus 2ab plus b square. What is a? A is 2q, b is 1. B is 1. Then we write 4q square plus 4q plus 1. So first two terms taken common 4q. 4q into q plus 1 plus the remaining term plus 1. So q into q plus 1 is an integer. Take q, capital Q. Small q change into capital Q. Then 4q plus 1. Then this one is x square is divided by 4. Then we get remainder is 4 using the division algorithm. So dividend is x square, divisor is 4. Then q is the quotient is an integer. So remainder is 1. Using the division algorithm or Euclid's lemma. So both cases we get the square of any integer leaves the remainder either 0 or 1 when divided by 4. Hence the proof. So next sum number 6. Sum number 6 is the use Euclid's division algorithm to find the highest common factor of 340 and 412. First subdivision. So first subdivision solution, first, second, third, 3 subdivisions are 2 numbers HCF. The fourth sum only 3 numbers. First, second, third using A and B. Division algorithm not. So both are same, division algorithm and Euclid's lemma. So third one is ABC or integer. We have to the same property. Then here 340 and 412. Already we have to explain so many sums for example. So exercise, the first subdivision is 340 and 412. Use the Euclid's division algorithm. 412 divided by in the side of the margin, side la போட்டுருக்கு பாத்துக்கோங்க. 412 ல 340 ஆல டிவைட் பண்ணா என்ன வரும்? 1 times. So remainder is 72. So Euclid's division algorithm 1 into 340 plus 72. Again, so remainder is not equal to 0. Here remainder what? 72. 72 is not equal to 0. 72 is not equal to 0. So again applying the Euclid's division algorithm. Then 340 is the dividend, 4 is the divisor. So we get then 4 into 72 plus 52. 4 into 72 plus 52. Here also the remainder is 52. 52 is not equal to 0. Again applying till we get the remainder is 0. We have to apply more times Euclid's division. So again applying that Euclid's division algorithm. So 72 is equal to 1 into 52 plus 20. 1 into 52 plus 20. Then we get the remainder is 20. So again applying the 20 is not equal to 0. Again applying the Euclid's division algorithm. 52 is equal to 2 into 20. 40 plus 12, 52. So here 12 is the remainder. Remainder is not equal to 0. Again applying Euclid's division algorithm. So 1 into 12 plus 8. 8 is not equal to 0. Then again applying the Euclid's division algorithm. 1 into 8 plus 4. So 4 is not equal to 0. Again applying the Euclid's division algorithm. 4 into 2 plus 0. Now only we get remainder is 0. So 4 into 2 plus 0. Then here what is the divisor? So divisor is the 4. So we get the HCF of 340 and 412 is 4. So next sum, the same process, 867 and 255 using the Euclid's division algorithm. So 867 divided by 255 3 times. So the remainder is 102. 102 is not equal to 0. Again applying the Euclid's division algorithm. 102 for 255 2 times. So remainder is 51. 51 is not equal to 0. So 51 into 2, 102 minus 102 0. Now only we get remainder is 0. So stop the apply the Euclid's division algorithm. So here what is the divisor? Divisor is 51. So HCF of 867 and 255 is 51. So next third question, the third subdivision for sixth question, 10,224 and 9,648. You don't fear for this one large number but simple one. Then using the Euclid's division algorithm, 10,224 is the dividend, then 9,648 is the divisor into 1 plus 576. 576 is not equal to 0, that is the remainder. Then again applying the Euclid's division algorithm, 576 into 16 plus 432. 432 is not equal to 0. Again applying the Euclid's division algorithm. So 576 is equal to 432 into 1 plus 144. So here also 144, the remainder is not equal to 0. Then 432 is equal to 144 into 0. Then into 3 plus 0. Now only we get the remainder is 0. So here what is the divisor? 144. So the HCF of 10,224 and 9,648 is 144. 144 is the HCF. So next question, subdivision, fourth one. This is one of the important one. The same as example sum 84, 90 and 120. 84, 90 and 120. So in this one 84, 90 and 120. First we find the HCF of 84 and 90. The same method of using the Euclides division algorithm. So 90 is equal to 84 into 1 plus 6. 6 is not equal to 0. That is the remainder. So again applying the Euclides division algorithm. 14 into 6 plus 0. So now only we get the remainder is 0. So what is the now divisor? Divisor is 14. Now only we get the divisor is 14. Divisor is 14. So then what is the 14 into 6 plus 0. So now divisor is the 14. So what is the quotient is the 6. Divisor is 6. So quotient is 14. Divisor is 6. Then quotient is 14. So this one is changed for this one. 6 into 14. 6 into 14 plus 0. 6 into 14 plus 0. So here divisor is the 6. So HCF of 84 and 90 is 6. HCF of 84 and 90 is 6. Next we check for another one. Apply the HCF of 6 and 120. 6 and 120. It is very simple. 120 is equal to 6 times into 20. 6 into 20. So plus 0. What is the divisor for this? Now we get the divisor is 6. So 6 and 120 is 6. So totally we get the HCF of 84, 90 and 120 is 6. 84, 90 and 120 is 6. Next question number 7. Find the largest number which divides 1230 and 1926 leaves remainder 12. Leaves remainder 12 in each case. Leaves remainder 12 in each case. First of all, we have to divide. Which number divides both numbers? For which one? The largest number 1220 and 1926. Leaves the remainder 12 in each case. Both numbers. So first of all, subtract the remainder both numbers. Subtract the remainder 12 both numbers. First of all, subtract the remainder 12 both numbers 1230 and 1926. So first case the largest number subtraction we get the two numbers for 1230 minus 12 and 1926 minus 12. So 1218 we get the numbers 1218 and 1914. First of all, we have to finding the HCF of 1218 and 1914. So applying the Euclides division algorithm. 1 times for 1218 in 1914. So remainder is 696. Now we get the remainder is not equal to 0. So again applying the Euclides division algorithm. 1 times for 1218 in 696. So remainder is 512. So it is not equal to 0. Again applying Euclides division algorithm. 512 in 1 times for 696. So remainder is 174. 174 is not equal to 0. Again applying the Euclides division algorithm. Then we get 512 is equal to 174 into 3. So we get the value is 0. Remainder is 0. Now only you get remainder is 0. So remainder 0, you stop the applying the Euclides division algorithm. So what is the divisor for here? 174. So that is the HCF of 1218 and 1914. So answer is 174 is the greatest number which divides 1230 and 1926, leaving the remainder 12. So question number 8. Next we see the question number 8. If D is the highest common factor of 32, it is one of the simple concept in same as for example question. And if D is the highest common factor of 32 and 60, find x and y satisfying D is equal to the highest common factor of 32 and 60 is equal to 32x plus 60y. 32x plus 60y. So given D is the HCF of 32 and 60. So applying the finding the first we find the HCF of 32 and 60 using the Euclides division algorithm. 60 is equal to 32 into 1 plus 28. 32 into 1 plus 28. So 28 is not equal to 0. 28 is not equal to 0. Again applying Euclides division algorithm. So 28 into 1 plus 4. 4 is not equal to 0. So again applying Euclides division algorithm. 28 is equal to 4 into 7 plus 0. Now only we get the remainder is 0. So HCF of 32 and 60 is 4. So D is equal to 32x plus 60y. 32x plus 60y. Already D is equal to D value. Now only we have to find 32 and 60 HCF is 4. So 4 is equal to 32x plus 60y. 32x plus 60y. Then here 4 is equal to 32x plus 60y. Now we take x is equal to 1. X is equal to 1. So 4 is equal to 32, x is 1, then plus 60y. So we have to finding the value of 60y is equal to 4 minus 32 minus 28. So minus 28 by this 60 goes to divide, then minus 22 by 60 is not an integer. Is not an integer. It is one of the rational number. It is one of the rational number. So it is not accepted. It is not accepted. That means it is not possible. It is not possible. We have to take n x is equal to 2. We have to take x is equal to 2. So 4 is equal to 32 into 2 plus 60y. Then 32 into 2, 64. So 64, this 4 minus 64. 4 minus 64, then minus 60. Minus 60 by 60, we get the value minus 1. Minus 1 is the negative integer. Integer anyone, positive or negative. So we get the value of x and y. X is 2, y is equal to minus 1. So sum number 9. A positive integer when divided by 88. When a positive integer when divided by 88 gives the remainder 61. What will be the remainder? This one also divided by a positive integer, no unknown integer. That one we divided by 88 leaves the remainder 61. What will be the remainder when the same number is the same number n? The number is divisible by 11. The number is what will be the remainder? Number is divisible by 11. So a positive integer when divided by 18 gives the remainder is 61 by using the Euclides division algorithm. Euclides division algorithm. Let n be, we consider, let n be the positive integer. N is the dividend. So divisor is the 88. Q is the quotient. So we get the remainder is given for 61. We get the remainder is given for 61. So Q is equal to, we have to take Q is equal to 1. We have to take Q is equal to 1. 88 we have to take for Q is equal to 1, 2 or anyone. We have to now, we have to take Q is equal to 1. 88 into 1 plus 61. That is equal to 149. 149 is divisible by 11. So the remainder is 6. 144 is divisible by 11. We get the remainder is 6. 144, 49 is divisible by 11. We get the remainder is 6. So next question number 10. Question number 10. Well, this one is the last question for this exercise. This one is the last question for this exercise. Prove that two consecutive, already I told, consecutive means continuously. Consecutive means continuously. Consecutive means continuously. Continuous means அடுத்தடுத்து. Continuous means அடுத்தடுத்து. Continuously. So to prove that two consecutive positive, this one also the same one, positive integers are always co-prime. Co-prime means continue two prime numbers. Continue அடுத்தடுத்து ரெண்டு prime numbers. So co-prime means continuously prime numbers. We have to take 6 and 7. 6 is and 7. 6 and 7. 6 and 7 continuously. So that one is the co-prime. There is no common factors are divided. That is only one is divided. Only one is divided. So next, the two consecutive positive integers be Same for n and n plus 1. N and n plus 1. If n is odd, if n is odd, if n is odd, if n is odd, n plus 1 is even, n is odd. Suppose n is, we have to take 7. 7 plus 1 what? 8. So n is odd. 7 is odd number, 8 is even number. 8 is even number. So only common factor of a and 7 and 8. What is the divisible by? Which number is divisible by 7 and 8? So only one only. No common other numbers. So only common factor of n and n plus 1 is 1. So if n is case 2, first case n is odd, first case n is odd, second case n is even. So n plus 1 is odd, n even, n plus 1. Suppose n is even means 8. n plus 1, 8 plus 1, 9. 9 is odd. So here also only common factor of n and n plus 1 is 1. Here also n and n plus 1 is 1. So next, thus in both cases n and n plus 1 will have 1 as the only common factor. Thus in both cases n and n plus 1 will have 1 as the only common factor. Hence n and n plus 1 are co-primes. n and n plus 1 are co-primes. Thus two consecutive positive integer also always co-prime. Always co-prime. Co-primes combine two numbers are prime. So co-prime. That is n and n plus 1 are co-primes. That is n's proof. So our study well. Then now this class enough. Our study learn.